Surprisingly, I find that people who are able to land a job in the UK after 1 year's masters are not those who went to the best university, are not those who had the best grade, but are those who are most determined to stay. If you really want to stay, you will. And this video will tell you how. Hey, I'm Kitty. Welcome to my channel where I talk about questions in 20s and how to navigate the quarter-life crisis together. I did my undergrad degree in China and my master's in strategic marketing in the UK. I'm now working as a product manager in the e-commerce company. In my job hunting process, there were 4 things that I find incredibly useful. Tip number 1. Local work experience. One of the biggest disadvantages for 1 year's master students is a lack of work experience in the UK. There was a girl who reached out to me on LinkedIn. She has been looking for a job for almost a year now. I looked at her resume, it's good, her university is good, grades is good, and also her internships back in China, our home country, is good from, top tech companies. However, she has 0 work experience in the UK. I know that as master students, we don't have the privilege as the undergrad students to take part in like some spring week or have so many vacations where they can take internships. We only have 1 year's time. It's very limited. We also need to be a full-time student. However, we need to fill in the gap. From a personal experience, there were 3 semesters in my degree, and I only came to the UK in the 2nd semester because of Tier 5 lockdown at that time. But I have started doing an internship for a local startup in London before I arrived in the UK. Because I know no matter how many different internships I had back in China, they won't prove that I'm able to work in the UK. So how to get that work experience? Firstly, lower your standards. You might have many years of work experience in your home country. You might have some really shiny job titles or the company is so famous. But when we are in a different country, we need to see ourselves as a blank piece of paper. We need to start from scratch. The first internship that I got, how do I put it? First, it's unpaid, but later on, I got some commission from clients. The startup is so small. Apart from me, it's basically only my boss. I still learned a lot in interacting with clients, in navigating the social media landscape, because that's a social media marketing job. This is still one of the best internships I've got, honestly. Second, bear in mind that don't just work for a company that is owned by people from your home country. For example, as Chinese students, we really like to just work in a Chinese company in a foreign country. One of my friends learned it the hard way. She started working for a Chinese company in Ireland after graduation. They paid her minimum wage. They treated her poorly. They never make her a full-time employee as they promised in the very beginning. So she had to quit her job. There's so much time she could otherwise spend on job seeking for a much better one. Tip number 2, career service. It took me so long to realize that not all my tuition goes to the curriculum in that program. A large part of it goes to the career service. When I went to the career consultant in the first semester, I still vividly remember what she said. Where have you been before? So, as guilty and shameful as I was, after that appointment, I try to kind of, just leave in the career center. By attending every career webinar, I finally learned how to network properly, how to improve my LinkedIn profile, and how shitty my previous resume was. By booking one-to-one session with career consultants, I got my resume polished line by line. I got my cover letter modified word by word, and I got opportunity for mock interview from previous employee in that company who is now one of our career consultants. Different universities will offer very different career services, but no matter what, take advantage of it. Make the most of it. Pause this video at this minute and book an appointment right now. Tip number 3, networking like crazy on LinkedIn. If you don't know how to network, I want you to watch every video on YouTube talking about networking right after this video, and then start sending connection requests today. And you should mainly aim for 3 groups of people. 1, your alumni. 2, current employees in your target companies. 3, recruiters in your target companies. I got interviewed from Amazon and Meta by networking with my alumni, and my alumni helped me with my resume and mock interviews. I got my current job by directly reaching out to the recruiter in the company, and the recruiter helped me find the position that he thinks suits me the best. So please network crazily. What's the worst that could happen? They refuse to give you a referral. This might mean this company doesn't give their employee very decent referral bonus, which suggests that referral might just not work that well in the company. They didn't reply your message. Well, do you lose anything from that? You made a hilarious mistake in networking. It's very likely that you and that person won't meet each other in person in your entire life. So why care? Tip number 4, keep going. I know job hunting is always tough, especially in today's economy. And it's just so easy to feel discouraged or even despair when things don't go as planned. I know a friend from my undergrad who spent a really long time, more than a year, in looking for a job in the UK. So she was an English major, and during that time, she had to ask for some financial support from her parents. She could only use some, translation gig to get by. When she was the most anxious, she started losing hair. Although it might be because of, the water in the UK, and she started to find it really hard to fall asleep. But her determination was so strong. It has never changed. The determination to not just be a traveler here for a year, but also really try to live a life here, try to really experience how it's like to work abroad. And she's now working as one of the 2 Chinese headhunters in the city of London. It was her who told me that looking for a job abroad is very interesting. If you want to stay really, really hard, if you think there's no another way, there's no way going back, you will stay. That's it for today's video. I hope you will find these tips helpful in your job seeking journey, and I wish you to land on a job you like very soon. See you in the next video.